just listening to ASMR to take a nap. Hi. I I hope that this is okay. I've never done ASMR, but I was a hater of ASMR for a long time. I thought that it was really weird, and there are still, a lot of people who think it's weird, and that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. But when I quit smoking, ASMR was actually something that really, really helped me. So, since then, it's been a few years, and since then, I've just been, I love ASMR. I'm a big fan. Specifically, tapping and scratching. Like, tapping and scratching is really nice. And sometimes I'll try to do it, like on stuff that I find, but I don't have long nails. I have anxiety, so I just bite my nails all the time. But sometimes they grow a little bit, and then I can, But most of the time, I just have to listen to other people tap on things with their nails because I don't have that. So I don't have that gift. Okay, that's a brief explanation of what we're doing here, and hopefully this lighting and this angle is okay. I don't know, I wanted it to be not too harsh or anything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. So, first things first, also, I'll try to be good about not making too much eye contact with the camera. I know that sometimes when people listen to ASMR, especially because you're trying to relax, you might not like eye contact, and I know in general some people really get uncomfortable with eye contact. I am a big eye contact person, so but I'll try to remember to, lay off a little bit. Anyway, first things first, I wanted to start out. I have been the lucky recipient of adult acne that I've been getting. I was lucky for a long time. I didn't really struggle with acne, but ever since about 2 months ago, I dermaplaned. And I dermaplaned a few times, and it was fine, and it made my skin, it was good. I dermaplaned 2 months ago with a dull blade. Yeah. Totally my fault. I just didn't think about it. So, ever since then, I keep getting a bunch of breakouts on my cheeks. So, I don't know. But someone online was saying to try, because I've tried so much stuff and nothing is really working. And I have a dermatologist, but I didn't want to go yet. And so someone said that their dermatologist told them to try this, something with benzoyl peroxide in it. Try not to make this too loud. But anyway, I got to tapping on it, and I was like, that sounds really nice. I love the scratching, especially on these kind of boxes. It's kind of like a mat, you know what I mean? Oh, that's nice. I like that. I'm trying not to do too much of a rhythm, you know what I mean? Because as much as I love tapping, whenever I can pick up on like a rhythm that someone is doing, I get really distracted because then I'm just thinking about the rhythm. So I like when it's more sporadic or, random. Wait, how do I want to like tap and scratch at the same time. That's really hard to do. Moving on. Hopefully that was kind of nice. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, moving on. What else was I gonna do? Oh. So, I have a thing where I really like scents, and I know that a lot of other people are like this. I love to smell good, but never in a way where I want to like give someone a headache or anything like that. If I'm gonna wear a scent, I try to not do too much of it, But I love to smell good, and I don't like smelling. Well, I don't want to smell bad, but I don't want to smell like nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand not smelling like anything, when there's so many good scents that you could pick. You could smell like anything. Pick something fun, you know what I mean? It says something, it's fun. But I have a knack for reading about different scents and then going, I'm gonna order samples. So I order a bunch of samples of stuff until I find something that I like. And because it's spring and it's almost summer is coming up soon, I realized that I didn't really have any coconut scents, and I love coconut anything, beverages, food, scents. I love coconut, and so I said I'm gonna need to get a coconut smell. And so I found a bunch of recommendations online. I scoured the web and I got a bunch of samples. I dropped one. I'll worry about that one later. Okay, this is a lot, and the smells. There's a lot of smells going on. Very pungent. I keep dropping them. That wasn't the plan. No. Okay. What's this one? Cocoa Moon. Okay, so this one is Cocoa Moon, and I heard this one was pretty good. This one's not bad, but I'm not sold on actually buying it. It's very, very beachy, very much like you're at a resort or something like that. It's fine. I don't know. I'm just not really sold on it. Oh, this was kind of my idea, was to like tap them. I wonder what it sounds like on the mic. See, I don't really like when people will like touch the mic, you know what I mean? But I'm just gonna try it real quick, okay? Bear with me. Okay, remember, I've never made ASMR. From my end, it sounded kind of nice, actually. let me know. Let me know what you think of any of this, how any of it sounds. Anything you like, don't like, whatever. Because I could make more of these. I really enjoy it. A lot of my content, I don't really make this kind of stuff. Well, this is my first ever ASMR video. But yeah, I normally make videos that are about like conspiracy theories and me breaking them down and then kind of trying to debunk it, because I think that they're funny. So that's a lot of my content, though, or just random stuff that I think of that would make me laugh or that I would want to watch. So I don't know. If you're here to get like exclusively ASMR, I can't promise you how much of that there would actually be, but if anyone likes it, I could make more. So, plus too, I like, if that's a type of video that I add to the ones that I already make, then, there's nothing wrong with that. A little bit of variety, as they say, variety is the spice of life. I'm trying not to be loud, because in real life, I'm loud, okay? And so I'm trying my best right now to be quiet. It's kind of hard. Beach walk. This one was fine. I don't know. You know which one of these I really liked? Oh my goodness. Where's it at? Let's see. Don't tell me it was the one I dropped. No, okay. Yeah, so I have always wanted to own, maybe just add more sounds into here. I've always wanted to own something by Burberry. That's the wish, is that someday I could afford to buy something from Burberry. Not actually, I mostly just like the pattern. I like the design, like the brown and the beige and the red and the black. Like normally I wouldn't like that, but it works really well for Burberry. Some of their designs I really like. So, but I bought a sample of their perfume, Burberry Brit. This is the perfume one. I don't know if there's a cologne one, but I just got it on my thumb. Okay. Awesome. I'm making a mess. Okay. Anyway, this one. Get out of here. It's kind of nice. It's well, it's really. I really like it. I'm probably gonna buy it. Maybe if I can afford it. It's Burberry. It's freaking expensive. Okay. No, don't hate me for this. Okay. I thought that it might be nice. I won't do it for too long. Whoa. Does anyone else have ADHD? Legally diagnosed. Or else you can't say that you have it. Just kidding. Disappointment when you can't hit it. Okay, hopefully this sounds okay. This was why I mentioned ADHD. It wasn't just like, so, how's everyone doing today? It was, because honestly, a fidget spinner is really helpful. I bring it with me to work, and I just play with it during meetings, because most of my meetings are over Zoom, but I'm in an office, but a lot of them are over Zoom. And so I'll just have this, and I'll be muted, I won't be, like, in front of the camera, like, Yeah, so I really like that point. It's like, that'd be really weird. And really rude. Okay, maybe that's okay. Who knows? Not sure. Okay, I remember what else I was gonna do. So another thing that I really like is when people do, like, this. I put the mic in a really weird spot. I don't know. So I'm, like, trying to figure out how to do this. a certain dryness, you know? It can't be like wet hands. I don't like that. That's weird. It sounds gross to me. Okay? Some people might like that. Not me. You're not gonna find that here, okay? These are dry hands only, okay? I was trying to think of things to talk about while doing this because there's no real theme other than, you know, me doing ASMR for the first time. As someone who used to hate it, like that's the theme, I guess. But I was trying to think of like funny stories that I could tell from my life or something. Like, not that it matters, but just so, I don't know, something to pass the time. But then I was thinking about, I got one, okay? So, one time, when I was 7 years old, 7 years old, 7 years old, when I was 7 years old, I was in class, and there was this girl, Emily, and I just was always trying to be everyone's friend, you know. I had a real problem with talking in class. Shocking. It was on all my report cards, like, she just won't stop talking. So they had to move me up front all the time. My teacher, not anyone else. Whatever. They couldn't handle me. I was always just kind of social and talkative, and so I would always try to make friends with everyone. And there's this girl, Emily, and she just really didn't like me. And I was always just kind of like, okay, sorry, I don't know what I did, you know. But then one day, Emily showed up to class with a haircut. She got her haircut like pretty short. I don't know what this does. I'm just trying to think of things. But she showed up and she had her haircut pretty short. And I saw that and I thought, oh my god, that's genius, because it was getting hot out and it was, I think it was like near the end of the school year and it was starting to get warmer. And my mom is a hairdresser. And so I knew if I went home that day and I was like, Mom, haircut, I could get it, you know, very lucky. So I go home and I get a haircut because I'm telling my mom, you know, Emily got this haircut. I want something similar because it's getting really hot out. And she's just so smart, you know. Like, Emily hated me and I was literally over here like, she's a genius. Emily's thinking of things, man, that none of us are thinking of. Getting a haircut. Anyway, I show up the next day to school and I had my hair cut. And it looked just like Emily. Although Emily's haircut was a lot more like feminine and like dainty. Mine, I look like Lord Farquaad. Don't laugh at that. It's really bad. My mom is like not a bad hairdresser. She's legitimately a hairdresser, but sometimes she would just give me haircuts that were a little brutal. Like, they were well done, but they maybe didn't frame my face as well as they should have. So anyway, I show up to school and Emily, she gets so mad at me. She yells at me. She's like, why are you obsessed with me? And now you even got a haircut like me. And I was like, whoa, Emily. Whoa, what did I do? Like, I don't understand. But then, I brought the box back. I missed it. But then, the next day, I think it was the next day at school, she goes, hey Haley, I just wanted to apologize. I told my mom about what I said to you, and she told me that I wasn't being very nice to you, and so I'm sorry. And I said, oh, that's okay, Emily. And so then we started hanging out, and we became friends, and we had so much fun together. And then it was probably a week or two later, Emily was like, do you want to come to my house after school? And I said, for sure. And I went to her house after school. And, you know, like, I was looking around and I'm thinking, man, this is a really nice house. Because I lived in an apartment with my mom and her boyfriend. And so just being in a house, I was like, this is nice. And I'm looking at like their family pictures and stuff like that in their living room. And I remember turning around and I was like, Emily, this place is nice. And as I'm saying that, I see something flying at me like this, like, like right to my face. And guess what? And Emily screams, she's like, ah. And I was like, what? And boom, hit me right in the eye. A chunky 2002 Sketcher. Yeah, you heard me right. And 2002, I say that because that's when Skechers were really chunky and like really solid, you know, heavy and built to last. And so she was kicking off her shoes and it accidentally kicked it really far and it hit me in the eye and I got a black eye. And I went, and you know, her mom was really like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, gave me ice. My mom picked me up and she was telling my mom what happened and everything. And you know, it was totally fine. But I remember going home and I was like, Mom, this is so cool. I have a black eye. Because I always wanted one. That sounds really bad. But because of movies, you know, and I would watch like action movies. And it's like, that's so cool. It's like you're tough and you got in a fight and you're like, yeah, I got the black eye to prove it, you know? Like, it didn't mean anything bad by it that I wanted one. But now that I had one, I was like, I'm so cool. And then, the next day, this is where it gets really bad. I go to school and someone from the office pulls me aside and they're like, can you come down to the principal's office? And I'm like, hell yeah, what's up? And so, because I'm just like none the wiser as a kid, I was just every day it was like I was partying, you know? And I go down there and I sit in the principal's office and there's, I think my teacher's in there too, and we're sitting there and the principal's like, Haley, how did you get that black eye? And I was like, oh my god, this. Oh, well, let me tell you, I was at Emily's house and she kicked off her Sketcher and it hit me in the eye. Isn't it so cool? And they were like, yeah, okay, so we just want to make sure that everything is okay. And I was like, yeah, oh yeah, everything's fine. But I was still in such a good mood about it because I was like, you guys, isn't this so cool? And like, it looks like I was in a fight, right? Isn't that so cool? And I just remember them being dumbfounded. They're like, what the hell? What is this kid? What is wrong with this kid? But anyway, maybe now you know me a little bit better and know the kind of person that I am and that I always have been. Just, you know, a weirdo, I don't know, a goober, like just, you know, having fun and being like, what's up, you know, what happened? Okay, so that's where I'm gonna stop it today. Like I said, if anyone thinks that this ASMR is worth listening to, if you think that I have potential, let me know, and I could always make more. I don't mind. This is actually really relaxing for me, and helps me to calm down. I hope that you enjoyed my story about when I was little. I can always share more in the future, but yeah, always here to just have a good time and talk and, you know, help everyone feel relaxed. Thank you so much. Skechers near a person if you're kicking them off. Don't do it around someone because you could hurt someone. You could kick them in the face, essentially. And that won't be very good. So